anybody want to go with me?
Go with
Okay.
you or show?
Yeah, she wanted to take the win. She knew that we had some new agents, and she was extending the offer to show some, show them how to show homes and prepare a home in its best light, go through safety, all that stuff, because it's not about just turning on the light, opening in the front door. There are things that we as real estate agents should do that would be considered best practices to show a home in its best light and keep a level of safety and security for ourselves and our clients. So she did that. So a lead buyer agent or a lead agent would say, hey, welcome to the team. We've got some homes that we're going to be showing this week, so I want to keep your afternoons relatively open. I'll let you know what day and time because I want you to go and see some homes with me. Okay? That would be her job. So, do we have any questions on the agent's job? Because we already kind of went through it. The only thing we would add is fiduciary, selecting the homes for a showing assistant, and kind of moving down that track.
So would the showing assistant select homes thereafter though, since they know the?
I think that comes to
Because the showing assistant can get in their mind when they go to the first home.
I think that is a level of experience. So when a showing assistant is ready to make the leap into working with their own clients, whoever they may be, they would be at a place where they could start selecting homes themselves. Maybe they have attended a couple of buyer consultations with another agent, shadowing them, just as we would do with listing agents.
So then at that point though, then they would just transition into their own buyer's agent.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, let's go back to, I don't want to talk about these two admin positions yet. Let's go to, I know it's here. Oh, director of sales. Now let's pull the director of sales. So on our team right now, we don't have a listing agent, so to speak, because all of our agents are sales agents, so they can list and represent buyers. We don't care, and in a shifting market, we want them to be able to play the field. We want them to say, you know what, I will work with whoever has money in their pocket, or or a property in their name. Like, I'll work with anybody. I think as evolution of a real estate agent, eventually they say, you know what, do I want to go out and be in my car or assist buyers in my day, or do I want to take listings in my day? And the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, says leverage. By taking more listings, you in theory can do 20 listings for every buyer. So if you start leveraging your time and your dollar producing activity, you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give another agent, a showing assistant, or a new buyer agent, I'm going to give them a piece of my pie, and we're going to do a split because they can go out and learn to do this job at a higher level, and I can focus on my job over here of taking some more listings.
So as a team owner, is that just a revolving door that you're just kind of bringing somebody in and spitting them out? Because I mean, at one point, if that person is a business person, so you may get somebody who's not a business person and somebody who is. If they are a business person, they're going to realize what you're doing at a high level, and then they're going to want to do that. So
You know what?
spits them out.
Yeah. So here's how I look at my team, and I'm only going to take 2 minutes to talk about this. We have 100% on the team. Let's say we have 10 agents. Okay, I know that out of that 100%, the 80-20 rule applies. I know that.
Right.
So I know that my time is to focus on the top 20%, which would be what?
2 agents.
2 agents. I know that the team job, including some of my time, but not most of my time, is to focus on the middle 60%, which is how many? 6 agents. And I know that the market center's job and KW is to focus on the, I'm going to just call it what it is. I'm going to say the bottom 20%. I'm going to say the people who are either cultural agents that have never done a deal and they're just happy to be here and have the free coffee and muffins once a week, or they're just going through something in their life where they haven't risen to this level yet. They're still learning, maybe they've got objections in their life or whatever it is. So we're gonna plug them into classes and trainings and things like that. We're gonna just nudge them up. But that would be 20%, and that is 2. So to answer your question, I'm constantly working with the people to get them into the top 20%. And I know that once I have the top 20% at a certain level, I have to say, are you going to go into a leadership role on the team? Can I support you in a team within a team? Okay? Or have I now been fortunate to now have the opportunity of creating a mega agent, and I can see you out there in the world doing things on your own. You can take everything that you've learned and done with the team, and then you have enough respect for me that you feed me with other agents who can use my support and guidance.
So that's the coaching up or coaching out?
Yeah. Now, in my world, I would love to keep these people in the organization.
Right.
In my world, but I realize I know the truth.
Mhm.
So, like, we're at a place now where we're gonna talk about fire captains,
Mhm.
because there's a couple of you who can support the other agents, so that I could focus more time on this, and the fire captains can focus on getting these people into here and getting these people into here, and the team can help grow that. So we're gonna talk about that today. It's on our schedule. Does that give clarity to some of you? Okay. So director of sales. So Brandon's role, director of sales. Okay, he's actually the team's director of sales till December 31st, at which time he can re-elect or the team could self-select. He is also in the capacity of the team's lead listing agent and the team's listing manager. He wears all 3 hats right now. So as the team's lead listing agent, when I get a listing that I either don't have the time to work on myself, or someone else needs to kind of manage it, he would manage that role. Okay, doesn't mean he's the only one, but he's the default. He also will help support other agents when they get their first listing on what should happen. But here's the best part. As the lead listing agent and as the listing manager, his area of expertise and his job is really narrow. He basically has to go take the listing, have them sign all the disclosures, bring the listing back over to our contract to close, because the listing is a what? A contract, and hand it to them and say, do whatever it is that you do. Schedule the signage, schedule the photography, put them in the dot loop and put them in the transactions, put them on the MLS, do all of those things. It's a very transactional job. And then once we get an offer, he would jump back in and negotiate it. Okay, so he doesn't have to do a lot of the marketing. Some of that marketing is being done by Patty, some of it's being done by Amelia and Jody. But he has to make sure the marketing is getting done. Because what happens when we market a listing?
Get more buyers.
You get more leads.
Two buyers and a listing, right?
Yeah, that would be our goal. So that is the listing manager, the lead listing agent. So now let's talk about his job as the director of sales. And this is the beginning of our leadership. So what will you do? You lead the mission and vision of the original production business. What's our production goals?
240 transactions.
By December 31st, and
25 agents.
net agents.
Netted.
So he leads that mission, okay? Hire, train, coach, and hold accountable all agents at the hub. Okay, so he would hold everybody accountable here. He would probably have an expansion partner somewhere else that he would have a dotted line to. Coordinate with the expansion director, I just talked about that. Prospect for leads, convert leads to appointments, so he has the same job as an agent does, because he's probably a producing agent, he's just not a competing agent, okay? Consult with clients to ensure fiduciary service, oversee negotiations for all contracts, develop expert knowledge regarding the mortgage financing, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And then essential duties and responsibilities, oversee all agents of the local sales team, providing accountability, support, and guidance, hire, train, and coach all local agents. Flip it over to the back. Lead generate for new clients daily, lead all aspects of the transaction from initial contract to contract to close. Negotiate on behalf of clients. He communicates daily with any expansion team, so he would communicate with Marty as they get their agents up and running. He would communicate with you if you're in San Diego. He would communicate with our hub agents, all of our local expansion agents. So if I have agents that are in, Green Valley, or if I have agents up at VIP, he would communicate with us. Any questions on that? Okay, so now let's move over to the Director of Operations. No, sorry, flip over to the Director of Lead Gen. So the Director of Lead Gen is not a position that's currently filled. However, Patty would be the closest. She is a step below that physical position, and that is a.
Is she a step below or above?
No, Director of Lead runs the whole department.
Okay,
So if you look.
then this is backwards, because this says client care is the boss.
Yes, it's a typo.
Okay.
Yes, it is a typo. But if you look here, so go back to this, and you will see Director of Leads. You'll see Database Manager, you'll see ISAs, OSAs, pay-per-click, basically marketing people. You'll see collateral and print, somebody who runs our open houses, Zillow Leads, social media. So the evolution of the leads department is you have all of our lead platforms, then you have our inside sales agents, outside sales agents, you have a database manager, and then you have the Director of Leads. And their whole job is to create and generate massive amounts of leads and qualify, convert those leads for the sales team.
While the sales team's getting.
Wherever, doesn't matter what state, doesn't matter, they can do all of that from the hub, okay? So technically, this would be Patty's job in a hybrid. So let's go through it. The Director of Lead Generation increases both the number and quality of leads at the hub and in all expansion locations. Serves as the leader in new lead generation campaigns while increasing the efficiency of existing campaigns. Manages the brand and the naming for the hub of all sales locations. Creates marketing material and makes it available for the hub and all sales locations. Runs the outside sales department, increasing the database. Runs the inside sales department, qualifying leads, creating appointments. Supports expansion locations. Creates standards and develops metrics to hold others accountable. Creates and manages lead generation training for the entire team. Essential duties and responsibilities. Develops new lead generation plans and maintains best practices for lead generation. Develops systems. And launching new teams and developing their databases. Works with the hub lead generation department to create leads by appointments. Works with the expansion director and the agents to deliver systems, information, accountability. Any questions on that? And then below that, attached to it, you have the job description of an inside sales agent. Not attached to this could also be the job description of an outside sales agent. We're not going to go over them because we're getting really micro. I just want you guys to understand, as sales agents, you have a support network. Through fear and through growth, we are in a storming mentality. So we're like, just do what we gotta do to get it done. I get it, I understand. At the end of the day, it's your check on the line, and therefore, I'll just do it myself versus helping everybody learn at a higher level so that I only have to teach them to do it once or twice. I relate. I often will say, is it easier for me just to do this? Or is it better for the team, the agents, and myself to stop, take time, help someone, coach them through it, let them do it once or twice, see if they fall flat on their face, pick them up, and then go, all right, now we got this, I don't have to revisit this again. And I want you all to make that decision. All right, so the last 5 minutes of training, we're gonna talk about the fire captain positions. Woo! So this is an open discussion. And all of you, even if you're on the team or not, if you're licensed or not, are completely welcome to give us your feedback. Brandon, Connor, myself, a couple others, I think Tracy was involved. We talked about the probability, no, yes, you remember, you were, okay. We talked about the possibility from our coach is doing this, about having a fire captain and having 2 or 3 junior teams.
Like a bold team.
It's like a bowl team. Think, yeah, for those of you who don't know, and you're in bowl, think of a bowl table and you have a team captain. The team's captain's job would be to assist the agent on anything that could help the agent get into higher levels of production. The team captain's job is not necessarily to negotiate contracts with the agent, however, I could see that as an evolution. I just think that that's probably I have a better.
An accountability partner.
They're an accountability.
Essentially,
Accountability buddy.
They're an accountability partner.
Accountability based.
And by being the accountability partner and being that person that is there with you and getting you up in the morning and helping you get your job done, you get a deal. I'm willing to pay them a small percentage from my split. Because in essence, they're taking a little bit of pressure off of me so I could focus on some higher pressurized items.
To get more pressure.
So the idea is, what does that look like? How does that role, get selected, and how are they held accountable to actions, and how are they replaced? Because it should be kind of an evolving thing. So,
what was the first question?
So the first question is, how are they selected?
Okay, well, first off, who wants to be one?
Yeah.
I think that's important.
You have to be licensed, and I'm gonna say you must have a deal closed in the last 8 weeks,
Okay.
just as a barrier of entry,
Okay.
okay?
How many teams do you think we'll have?
I think we start with 2.
How many
Doesn't matter, even an unlicensed agent would get onto one of the, fire 2 teams.
So how many people do you have on it? Or
Team-
how
Team
many
Bear and
people
Team
are
Wolf.
on the team?
I don't think
Team
you could
Silverback,
have
Team
any more than,
Lion.
I would say 4 to 6,
I would
but let's say,
four to six, I think is a good.
Yeah, 4 to 6 sounds good.
yeah, in addition to the fire captain.
Yeah, and then eventually down the road, I think as we perfect this, I think we can get into a point where we have 4 different teams, smaller, and have them all.
More focused.
So let's talk about this.
Maybe each one have a different pillar, I guess, that they focus
No.
I don't necessarily think you would need that as long
Okay.
as they
No.
have one pillar and they're.
And I wanna
held
create
accountable.
competition, I wanna incentivize, like create a little, some spirited wins and,
Craig pays for a vacation to Europe.
Team
I'll
building
be
in
honest.
Paris.
Maybe not Europe, but.
We
He's
have
a
family
concept
reunion, we have
also.
family reunion coming up in February in New Orleans,
Hey,
Louisiana.
I do recall though,
Balance.
you did first ever team meeting on the team, you said you were paying for somebody to go if they hit their numbers.
That's right.
True.
All expenses paid to
My
family
first ever,
reunion.
my first ever
Including
team
alcohol.
meeting.
So let's talk about this fire captain, guys.
What was that? What'd you say?
What does that look like? What does that look like?
I think
And let's spend 5 minutes on dissecting it.
what they are and what they do.
Yeah.
Someone who's, I think at a high level, at a very high level, it's an accountability partner.
Yeah, and I think
Someone
that
to hold you accountable.
I think it's a Russ. Somebody who's building a fire under everybody to get them to
I
do
mean,
what they
point
need
of
to do.
contact for general questions too for newer agents,
Yeah.
Related to production.
related
Yeah,
to production.
absolutely.
I think guys
Yep.
saying
Patty,
something.
what was that?
It will be with agent or
Both.
United States or just agent?
Both, but the leader will have to be an agent.
Yeah, the leader has to be a licensed agent who's in production and is in the top tiers of our production. They don't have to be the top. Like, I could see somebody who's brand new to the team who's got everything they need to get done, and they're like, okay, I just need to hit that transaction. Or I just need to, so I really wanna create an opportunity where somebody says, you know what, I need to hit this so I can become the fire captain. And once I'm the fire captain, I can grow to this. Like, I think that's important. So accountability partner, what else?
Sharon, what were you saying?
Someone, like a main point of contact for questions that are in regards to production.
I think that would be for newer agent, like.
For
hey,
newer
how do you-
agents, yeah.
Hey, how
But
do I-
like
hey,
that
how do I
would
do
be, like the
this?
fire captain would be the
Mhm.
person,
Mhm.
like to ask, for that.
Yeah, cause I think that's a lot of what Craig gets. Hey, what's going on here?
I also-
What's,
Hey, real quick,
yeah.
hey, just a second.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly,
yeah.
If you
So
have like
I-
one
so-
person that you're
yes.
going to, I think it's gonna streamline
And-
things
And
better.
if they
And
can't
everybody
answer it, then
knows.
bypass it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the fire cap, if the fire
But
captain
if the person
can't
doesn't
say
know
it-
the answer, he can answer.
That's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying, if it
gone.
doesn't
Yeah,
work,
I'm not
if it
gone.
doesn't-
Yeah,
But the
exactly.
fire captain goes to Craig.
Not necessarily.
No.
Hey, I think.
It
run
could be,
by
hey,
it.
let's
That's
go
what it's-
talk to
Take
Craig.
some pressure off of going directly to Craig for questions that others may be
Right.
able to answer.
I think it's just, if somebody has a question, you go to the person, and then if that person doesn't know it,
Yeah.
then you bypass it to Craig.
Exactly.
I don't think it matters who asks.
And to be honest with you guys, you're not gonna have too many of those problems, because you're focusing on somebody's accountability, getting them into momentum, getting them into production.
Please come and cast your vote for the best decorated office and have a little bite to eat.
We've been
Yeah.
serving
We're,
that yet?
we're
So
gonna win.
we'll take a 5-minute break here, and we'll do that, and then we'll make it a fast sales meeting. So production, point of contact, what else?
Wait, can we vote for ourselves? Cause I think we're.
No, because we have enough people.
We're gonna do Christmas decorations instead of Halloween decorations.
Okay.
So what else?
Let's see here. I think this kind of goes back into the accountability thing, but I think a weekly meeting within your team.
Team.
So some sort of standard.
A huddle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I-
Huddle call,
I
a
think-
huddle call of a team.
Like what I do, I write out goals for the week via email, and I think you can send them out to all those people that are in your team, and then you can have a punishment in there if you don't hit your goals, what you have to do.
Okay, you have to create team standards.
Team standard, yeah.
Okay. So now, I think 2.
Yeah, I think 2 is a good start.
Two's a good
So-
start.
Could I add something? I think that this would be a great idea for, especially for some of the ISAs, to create some friendly competition. I think that's something that we're lacking. And that way, I think it'd help motivate some of the ISAs to book more appointments.
So my motivation, yes. Are you thinking an ISA as their own team?
No.
Okay.
I mean, so we split up the ISAs
Yeah.
evenly.
And then they kind of compete against each other? Yeah. So that's my thought process, is that each team is comprised of, it's kind of divided, okay? We do it based off everybody's production. We don't want it to be one side or other, so we do the same thing that they do in bowl. But you would have your fire captain, which is gonna be a top producer on the team.
Yeah.
And then it would be a fire captain, which is gonna be a top producer. And they are selected. The team Tippy selects the 2 fire captains. And then each fire captain selects based off of, or I encourage them, push them a little bit, to grab a couple of people who are also up there in production. Grab a couple of people who are onesie-twosies, maybe that 60%ers. And then grab a couple of people who are either not doing so well and could be, if they had a little bit extra support, or they're brand new in the agent category, and a couple of ISAs. And that's kind of how we comprise the team. And as we grow, we might grow over a little bit, and then we will also now create a 3rd team. Okay? So that's my thought process. Does anybody have anything they have to say about that?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay? So let's do this today. I don't want to create the team today.
Oh, man.
I do want to pick the 2 fire captains today. And one of them is not Brandon.
Yeah, I didn't want to do
Brandon is, so the fire captains would work with Brandon. So who wants to be a fire captain? John? Connor?
I figured those 2 would be, if it wasn't Brandon.
Is Josephine was
Are you
the
looking
issue
at me?
with
Can I-
Oh.
Can I interject?
Hold on, hold the thought.
Okay.
I'm just looking to see if your arms are broken, or if there's a reason you are not in a position to be a fire captain.
Well, because I already just work 2 days a week, and I already have too many standards that I can't hold to, so like adding more, I mean, I would. I don't know how that would work.
Okay.
For me.
Are you interested in being a fire captain?
You can be honest.
No.
No, just let me know if you're interested, because even if you're not a fire captain right now,
Yeah, then yes.
then is there another opportunity? Are you somebody who can still assist the team in another capacity, and then when the time is right, you become the 3rd fire captain? Should anybody else not want to? So I just want to gauge your
Yeah, I mean, if
So,
I was
so,
younger,
so
yeah.
transparency here, Tracy works 2 days in her business, and is one of the top producers on the team. And she only works in her business 2 days, but she's really intentional about the time that she spends in her business. So there's no judgment here. Like Tracy is a rock star in her
She
own
tours the
way.
country being a rock star.
And she's really good at, like, you know, dumping stuff and saying, you guys do it and I'm gonna hold you accountable. And she'll follow up and she'll be like, this didn't get done. So she's been exponential in the growth of the
And
team.
she's
So,
really good about making one phone call.
so it sounds like there's only 2 captains right now.
Great conversion
Is
rate.
anybody on the team, is there anybody here, not here? So
Oh,
Josephine's not
Josephine,
here.
Josephine,
Shannon,
Shannon,
I
yeah.
bet you Josephine would do it.
No, I'm sure.
Josephine will probably be a good fit.
But then again, she has a
Josephine,
lot.
Shannon.
She has a lot of stuff.
Orvis and Cameron.
Okay, so can we agree that John and Connor are going to be fire captains?
I have no,
Problemo.
yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to have happen. I'd like for you to meet with both of them, either together or individually, sometime in the next 3 days.
Okay,
Really kind of set your expectations for them,
okay,
knowing that they are going to lead the productivity and accountability for their team,
okay.
and get really clear with them.
Cool.
Okay? And then you're going to hold them accountable.
Holding their team
The
accountable.
4 of us will design kind of some sort of standards based off the team standards, you know, the training and coaching and all that, and the time you're working your business, the calendars, all these things. And then we will bring it back to the team on Monday, and then we will select, and that will be our training for next Monday, is getting really clear with who's on whose team, and then what is everybody gonna do, and putting that together for the rest of the month.
Team Lion, Team Phoenix? No?
I am a lion.
Yes, you had a question.
I'm hungry.
It wasn't a question, it was just an interjection here. So I called Russ on Friday because I
You needed some support?
I need more accountability to
Okay.
ramp up my production because I am not as good an agent as I can be,
Mhm.
and I need to step it up. So
Okay.
I called Russ for accountability.
And he
As
said,
far as my working out and stuff like that, I've held myself accountable and I've worked out every single day since Friday.
okay,
And my legs feel like jelly, but I feel great.
okay,
I'm excited that I do have the opportunity to do this, and that putting me at a higher level of accountability is going to help me do my job better. So I think I just wanted to
Good job.
say that. So,
good.
yeah.
Thanks for your vulnerability. 2 claps. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. So you guys have a conversation sometime between now and the day after Bold. We're going to meet on Friday. Let's put it on my calendar. We'll have a
Just me and you?
conversation,
Or the 4 of
no, the 4 of us.
Okay.
And we are going to represent it back to the team on Monday.
Cool.
Brandon
Okay.
is fire chief.
So that will be our training that day, and we're gonna dice it, slice it, make sure that everybody's comfortable, make sure that everybody understands what they're doing, the accountability that they're being held to, and we'll rock and roll.
I think it'll be great.
That will also give me time to talk to the people in the room about the ISA position, and we can select a couple of people and put a path together for everybody else. And those of you who are looking for licensing, we will have a conversation about that and what you need to do to get licensed, okay? Any questions? All right, does anybody have to use the restroom or anything right now? Can I go into sales?
Going to sales.
Okay, let's just get this done.
Do we
Keep
have
going.
do we have
Are
to
we not
vote?
voting?
Do we have to vote?
Yeah, really.
We're voting on Monday, I
No,
believe.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
I'm
for
sorry,
the
but it's the
board.
office day.
We'll be, well,
I mean, that's, I know.
what's she saying? We have until noon, right?
It's 12 right now.
12
It's till noon.
How long can we vote?
Yeah, it's 12:11. Oh.
Okay, go vote,
Wait,
real
gotta
quick,
go
5
vote.
minutes.
Wait, it says on here.
Vote for
12 to-
Rihanna